Namaste everyone. This is Dr. Ayesha Butalia. I welcome you all for today's session on file input output using C++. We are going to discuss about the input streams, output streams, the file streams regarding the input output using C++, the class for file stream operators, the streams and formatted input output manipulators, file handling, and some examples in C++ for the same. We are going to learn the stream is what and examine input and output streams, explore how to read data from the standard input device, learn how to use predefined functions in the program, some manipulating functions we will be discussing, and we'll be learn how to write data to the standard output device, some manipulators, and learn how to perform input-output operations using string data type. So let's start. I/O streams and standard I/O devices. Now, input-output. Basically, streams in computer programming or in general programming, it is the data that is flowing. So simply put, a stream in programming means the flow of data. A stream is basically the sequence of bytes or sequence of data from source to the destination. The stream can be thought as a channel connecting a processor logic unit where the data is processed according to the instructions and the input and output devices. Okay, so this is our CPU, processor, and the arithmetic and logic unit including. Then we have an input device when you can have the data from the input device to the CPU, perform some operations. And then after the operations are performed, then we write the data from the CPU to the output device. Okay, so this data reading and writing, this is known as the data flow, where sequence of bytes are either read from the input device to the CPU or either written from the CPU to the output device. And these are sequence of bytes. This is called as the stream. So there is also a concept called streaming. So streaming media is in terms of multimedia, where multimedia has 5 types, say text, audio, video, animation, and images. Okay, so basically streaming is the concept in video or audio content in multimedia that is sent in compressed form over the internet and played immediately rather being saved to the hard drive. So while streaming media, a user does not have to wait to download the file to play it because the media is sent to the continuous stream of data it can play as it receives. So sometimes, if there's a 100 MB file, video or an audio you are downloading. So before it actually downloads fully, then also you can read parts by parts so that your waiting time decreases. So that is streaming. So basically it is the sequence of characters from the source to the destination. So in streaming, in spite that the entire characters have been downloaded, since you can play the characters which are in the sequence of the stream. So input stream is basically sequence of characters from input device to the computer. And output stream is vice versa, sequence of characters from the computer to an output device. So basically IO streams use IO stream header file to extract, receive data from keyboard and send output to the screen. So whatever we are doing C in and C out, basically we are typing on the keyboard and then whatever is on the screen, okay, then we put it into the variable. In C out, whatever are on the variables are output on the screen. So basically you have to include the iostream.h header file. So iStream is specifically for input and OStream for output. So these contain the two data types. So basically iostream will contain both. So the example of the two variables which we are using in C++ commonly and also explained in our previous lectures, C in and C out. So this is the hierarchy. We have a base class called iOS base. Then it is subclass is iOS. Okay, then again subclass iOS is divided into iStream and OStream, where CN is the example of iStream data type. It's the data type, and OStream is the example data type. Cout is the example, and then it is inherited with the class ifstream and ofstream. Okay, so we'll see that further. These are the stream classes. These all are the stream classes. So input file stream class, this is output file stream class. So input stream variables are of type iStream, output stream variables are of type OStream. Okay, so there is same example, same hierarchy. So iStream, the input, and OStream data type, that is the output. Then with assign, that is with arguments. So we have got cin as an example of iStream, and for OStream, we have cout, that is printing on the screen, cerr, that is for errors, and for log files, it is clog. So cin is also called as the extraction operator, used with this extraction symbol. So basically what it is doing, whatever we are typing on the keyboard, okay, it gets stored in the variable. So whatever is on the right hand side goes to the left hand side. Now the extraction operator is binary. Left side operand is an input stream variable, and right side operand is a variable. So left side is the input stream, whereas the right side is the variable. Now there is no difference between a single cin and multiple variables and multiple cin statement with one variable. Okay, so while scanning, the extraction operator skips all the white spaces. So blanks and certain non-printable characters. Okay, these are skipped. Whereas distinguishing between character 2 and the number 2 by the right hand side operand, okay, through the extraction operator is differentiated. So if type char is there, or int is there, or double is there, the true is treated as the character or as the number. So variable, the type of the variable will define what will be the input. Okay, if you are using this variable on the right hand side as a character, then 2 will be assumed as a character. If this variable is of type integer in the declaration part, then 2 will be considered as the number. So when reading data into a char variable, it skips leading white spaces, finds and stores only the next character. So the moment we have space, that means it breaks. So whatever was there before the space will be considered as the data. Okay, so we can see the example here, C in CH, and the input is A. So here A will be considered as character because this is defined as CH is defined as character. Okay, now here the input is AB. Okay, so the CH will, since CH is a character and AB is a string, so CH would be A and B is held after later input. So first it will be A, and then it will be replaced by B. Okay, because character will have only one at a time, one alphabet. Then here A is what? Integer. So A is 48. So here the numeric value will be considered. Okay, here it is a floating point, but A is a integer. So it will only take first the 46 and then 0.36 is held for the latent inputs. Because point means it is similar to the space, it will assume that it has ended and next numeric value has been entered. So likewise, all the examples are shown over here as per the declarations. You can go this another examples so that it will be more clear to you. Now see, whenever we make a video, okay, and there are some examples, okay, you can just stop over there and you can note it down all the examples and have a practice on your machine. If suppose your focus has lost over there, you can just again go back and see whatever has been missed. If you want revision, you can you download the video and you can see again and again. Even you can see it online and save the link, because any video should be seen at least 2 to 3 times, so that you perfectly understand all the concept. Because the person who is teaching, okay, he can't be so slow in the video, because if he becomes so slow, some fast learners may find it boring, and some very slow learners may also have problem. So it is better that slow learners can go back, but at least for fast learners, I guess 2 times looking at the video would be preferred, and for slow learners 3 to 4 times would definitely help you out. And obviously you need to practice side by side looking at the video. So predefined functions. So function is a set of instructions, which are already stored. You just call them and you include the header file in which the collection of libraries are put. Okay, so the header file consists of the predefined functions. So as usual, in any function, which we have discussed in our function topics, how to define the function, how to declare, how to initialize, how to call. So any function has function name, number of parameters, type of parameter, and what the function is going to do. So what is function going to do is the definition, okay, type of each parameter which you are passing, and also as the return type, and what is the function name. So similarly, okay, if we use a power function, you should include the CMath library, because there automatically this function has been defined. Okay, so basically what it means by the definition, that pow x comma y is equal to x to the power y. So x and y are the arguments of the parameters to the function pow. So in dynamism, you can automatically put the actual values so that you get the output 2 to the power 3. So this is the program. You can just halt over here in your video and you can type this program on your PC and try to see what the answer is. It is quite simple, a normal programming, how to use the power function using C++ is used. Even the square root function is explained. So for that, what is to be highlighted here, that CMath library or header file has to be included. So when you run that program, the output you will get is like this. Now you have already learned cin function, which is similar to that of scanf in C language. But there is something called as get function also, which is similar to that of cin. But why you want another function? Because as we said just now, that cin is not including the spaces, whereas the get function will be including the spaces. So the input's next character will also be included white space as another character. So the syntax of cin and the get function is cin.get and then the varchar. Now varchar is a character variable and is the argument parameter to the function. So it is the argument basically to the get function, because as we said, any function, it requires the arguments. The type of argument is also to be known. We'll go back to the slide. Yeah. So next function is the ignore function. So it discards a portion of the input. So if there is a big string, you want a specific string to be discarded. So the syntax of ignore is as follows. This is the integer expression and this is the character expression. So if int x is the value m, the statement says to ignore the next m characters of all characters until characters specified by ch. Okay, so if this is 4, so this is the character which is being seen. Next m characters or all the characters until you get this character, okay, all will be ignored, or at least from the current position, the number which is explained over here is mentioned over here, that much values data would be ignored. So it will be cut rather. So next is the put back function. It places previous character extracted by the get function from an input stream back to the stream. So whatever portion was cut, okay, using the ignore function, that will be placed back again on the console or whatever is the input stream, output stream, using this put back function. What is speak function? It returns next character from the input stream. Okay, so if suppose position is right now on the fourth character, it will give you the fifth character value, the speak function. Okay, you can just explore these functions directly. You just include the library, the header file, and then see the arguments which are to be there, the syntax. You will get it easily on the net, and then you just try to pass the arguments and can run the program. Does not remove the character from the string. Okay, it just returns you the value. It will not cut. Okay, the cutting position is done by ignore function. Put back will place it back, and peek function will just retrieve the next character. So over here also you will get the syntax. It is easily available on the net. The code is also there, but still if you want, we have provided you with the syntax. So this is the object, okay, and then you can use this function and pass the character. Okay, so this character can be an array and that can be replaced, or even it can be a character, one single character itself. So this is an input stream variable cin, and cin is the object of the and the data type of the input class, and ch is the char variable. The syntax for peek is, again you use the input variable, input stream variable, or the object of the cin, and then you call the peek class. So cin and get are two different identifiers via dot. Dot separates the input stream variable name from the member or the function name. Okay. So in C++, dot is the member access operator. So in cin, a get function is defined. So you access the iStream using the iStream variable. Cin is the iStream variable. Okay, you call the function get with the help of the member access operator dot. Simple. Now things can go wrong during execution. If input data does not match the corresponding program variables, program may return into problems. For example, trying to read a letter in an int. For example, you have declared int in the program and you try to ask the double. So still it will not have a problem because it will have the dot operator. So it can be separated. But sometimes it is declared as int and you type a character. Okay, so it is expecting some number and you type A, then probably either it will convert automatically into the ASCII if you are using some Linux software. Otherwise, you will get an typecast error. So once in a failed state, all further IO statements used that screen are ignored because they go back. The program continues to execute with whatever values are stored in the variables, but this will cause incorrect result. So clear function restores the input stream to the working state. So you just clear the contents and start again. Now this endl is a manipulator, okay, and it is used for the enter so that a new line can be done. It's very simple. So this is basically the output cout. So output and formatting output. Okay, format means we define the way we want the answer or the thing to be printed. So cout. So here, this is the insertion operator, and this is the expression which we try to insert onto the screen, output stream, or whatever variable is there. on the left hand side, if there is a variable over here, that would be inserted onto the screen from the variable to the screen. So there is another manipulator, set precision. This is the used for output. So output decimal numbers with up to n decimal places. Okay, so you can just set that if n means you want up to 2 decimal places, then you put set precision on n. So this is basically used for float, double, or you can say in general decimal numbers. This manipulator is used. So this must use iomanip.h header file. Okay? If you want to use these types of manipulators. Now fixed manipulator, it outputs floating point numbers in a decimal format. So cout fixed, disable by using the stream member function unset f. Example, cout unset f ios dot fixed. Okay, scope resolution operator and then fixed. So the manipulator scientific is used for output floating point numbers in scientific format. So you can have a fixed format to display your real numbers, and you can also have a scientific. So whenever you have used calculators, you use these two formats, and that you can also do in terms of programming with the help of these two manipulators, and this is the way you have to do. The example and the syntax is given here. Okay, you have to, this is the stream member function. The way get member function was there in cin, unset f is the member function of the variable of outstream, cout. Similarly, you have other manipulators. So show point forces output to show the decimal point and trailing zeros. So if you just explore all this through programming, giving different real numbers, you will actually see the answers and you can more explore it. Outputs the value of the expression in a specific column. So cout set w. So outputs the value of an expression in a specific column. So if the number of column exceeds the number of columns required by an expression. So for example, the output of the expression is right justified. Unused columns to the left are filled with spaces. For example, there are only 3 characters and you have set W5. So if it is right justified, okay, right to values will be free. So you need to fill it. Okay, otherwise you need to, if it is left justified, you have to fill it at the beginning. Okay, so again for this, you should include iomanip.h header file. Then you can also explore set fill, right and left manipulators, and unset f. We have a separate presentation on only manipulators because there are a lot of manipulators. There you can see separate examples in C++, okay, with the output as well. But as of now, you should know that these are the various types of manipulators which are used for output formatting. If you want to see the syntax, you can go one by one on this each slide as well. Now, what is a file? So file is the area in secondary storage to hold info. File IO is a 5-step process. What is that? Now, since it is a secondary storage, okay, you have to include the F stream header. Then include file stream variables. Declare the file stream variables. Associate the file stream variables with the input-output process. Use the file stream variables with the extraction and insertion operators or the other input-output functions like, get function we saw, set w function we saw. And then finally, we need to close the file. So we will see an example that a theater owner agrees to donate a portion of the gross ticket sales to the charity. The program will prompt the user to the input, the movie name, the adult ticket price, the child ticket price, number of adult tickets sold, number of child tickets sold, and the percentage of gross amount to be donated. So the problem statement would be defined as inputs, movie name, adult and child ticket price, adult and child ticket sold, and the percentage of the gross to be donated. So these are the variables. And after that, when we try to do the programming, this should be the output, somewhat like this. So how we go about this problem analysis? The program needs to get the movie name, get the price of an adult ticket price, get the price of a child ticket price, get the number of ticket price, adult tickets sold, get the number of the child tickets sold. Calculate the gross amount. Now this is the formula, how we will calculate, okay, because number of tickets sold will be multiplied by the price. For adults, same would be done for the child, and then that would be our gross amount. And then we calculate the amount donated to the charity. So amount donated is equal to, this is the percentage. This is the formula to calculate the percentage. And then finally we deduct to get the net sale. And then we output the results. Whatever variables we used for calculations, that we can output. We can print with the help of cout. Okay, so the program is declare all the variables, data types are used accordingly. When column is left justified, use left. Okay, number of second column are right justified. So before printing the value in the right column, use right. Use set fill to fill the empty spaces between the first and the second column with dots. Why this? Because see, you want the output like this. So if you see, this is all in one line, clear? And every variable has different characters. So we have to include these dots so that all this is in one line, because this is the highest. So we go till here and then we end. So we calculate this is the highest. So first we will calculate what are the digits, and in rest we will fill the rest by the dots, okay, with the use of set fill method. So how the algorithm would be, first we will declare the variables, then we will set the output of the floating point to 2 decimal places, fixed and decimal places and trailing zeros. Prompt the user to enter a movie name. Input movie name using getLine because it may contain spaces. Okay. And then prompt user for price of an adult ticket. Okay. Why getLine? Because get function, cin function will not be able to use spaces, but get function can. And there is another function called getLine where the entire line will be used unless and until there is an enter. The next point is of the algorithm, input price of the adult ticket is asked, prompt user for the price of the child ticket, input price of the child ticket, then prompt user for the number of adult tickets sold. These all parameters would be cin with the form of get, okay, and then asked from the user and then stored in the variables. And then the next algorithm parts are that we will, after the entire scanning is done of the input variables, then we perform the calculations and then we print the results. So basically stream infinite sequence of characters from the source to destination. So a stream is basically an abstraction that represents a device on which input and output operators are performed. For example, file streams are C++ objects to manipulate and interact with files. Once a file stream is used to open a file, any input or output operation performed on stream is physically reflected in the file. Okay, so basically a stream is very similar to that of an array, except that it's the flow of items that will be arriving whenever they feel like. Okay, but why streams? Because the common use case of streams is to process huge files of data that you cannot hold in the memory. Okay, so basically there are two types of streams, IF stream and the OF stream. Okay, so that is input stream and output stream. These are the stream classes, C++ stream classes designed to be connected to input or output files. So for stream, objects have all the member functions and manipulators processed by the standard streams C in and C out. So by default, a file stream is not connected to anything. So basically the stream class defines objects which accepts the sequence of characters. Okay. So stream may also have an input, in which case multiple stream object can be cascaded to build a stream pipe where the output of a stream is directed to the input of the next object down the line. So C++ IO are based on streams, which are sequence of bytes flowing, like, the programs just like water and oil flowing through the pipe. Okay, so input operations data flow from the input source, such as keyboard, file, network, or any other program into the program. So writing streams and reading streams. So while an writing operation writes the data into the source file, and reading streams is used to read the data from the source file. Okay. So the IO stream library is an object-oriented library that provides input and output functionality using streams. So we discussed about the get, because it reads character by character, and it includes white spaces, which is not achieved by cin. Then we also discussed about the put back, ignore, peek functions. Then the manipulators as set precision, fixed, show point, set W, set fill, left and right, that can be used. Why these are used? Basically for formatting the output. Okay, there are two types of output, basically formatting and non-formatting. So we have to include, for formatting, basically these are the manipulators, okay, which you can use. But for in case of uh, the manipulator set precision, set W, and set fill, right? We need to include the header file, that is iomanip.h. So we also discussed about the file, which is the area in the secondary storage to hold info of the header F stream that contains the definition of IF stream and the OF stream. So this is all about the input output files in C++. So if you have any doubts in the lecture, you can email me, and thank you very much for the patience listening. We will be discussing about the two types of formatting, that is the formatting output and the non-formatting output, in our another presentation. Please check that out so that you understand. Then this whole topic of input outputs would be closed. Thank you very much once again. Have a nice day.